Gavin Newsom is fighting fire with absolute insane tweets. And by the way, by insane tweets, I mean exactly what you would expect Donald Trump to be posting. I'm going to share some of the updates of this new strategy to mock the president, and then we'll get into what experts think might go down today as President Trump meets with Vladimir Putin in Russia, aka Alaska. So you could go through a whole laundry list of these tweets, but whoever is the social media person in charge of this strategy, give them a raise. These tweets could be framed and put into museums someday. In all caps. This is from Governor Newsom's press office. Many people are saying, and I agree, that I, Gavin C. Newsom, America's favorite governor, deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? Because of, in quotes, most incredible maps in the history of mapping, even Columbus. These maps will end the very rigged elections, make America great again, MAGA, retake Congress for the people, and save democracy. Nobody else could have done this, certainly not the self-proclaimed master dealmaker Donald Taco Trump, tiny hands, who missed the deadline and lost. Sad. Peace through maps. No one has ever thought of this before. I am the peacetime governor now, stopping political wars before they start. Harmony, unity, even love. The Nobel Committee has given this award to lesser people for much less. I, Gavin C. Newsom, actually earned it. The world will be safer, kinder, and frankly more beautiful because of my maps. Give Gavin the Nobel. Many are saying, thank you for your attention to this matter, GCN. And look, there's about 10 or so that are going like this. Now, obviously, they're playing into the absurdity, which is we've normalized our president with absolutely unhinged, deranged tweets. And yet, this is the world we live in. People expect more from our political leaders, but hey, it's a dogfight out there. And I think what we're learning is people would rather see Governor Newsom and others roll their sleeves up and fight fire with fire than take the high road. The high road works until it doesn't, right? Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. The current phrase is, when they go low, kick them in the jaw, metaphorically speaking. Go down to their level and scrum with them. So we've got troops in the streets. We're going to play some of the clips here of what Gavin Newsom had to say, but he is not going down without a fight. And you know, you love to see it because there are so many people that are waiting for other leaders to sort of pay the tab here, and everyone's got their dick in their hands doing nothing about it. I like to see something done. Now, you might not agree with all of Gavin Newsom's policies. You know, there are things that you like or don't like, but when it comes down to it, the biggest problem, I think, with Democrats and people on the left is the purity test that exists. You want everyone to be at the same finish line that you're at with every moral issue. And the truth is, that's just not going to happen. Whereas on the right, you might have people that like Trump for one reason or the other, but they've all been kind of unified over him. And I tell you what, whether he runs for office or not, I've kind of been mixed on Gavin Newsom, but he's putting together an actual strategy, and he's one of the few people that have the power right now to fight the absurd redistricting that's going on. Have a listen.
Give a brief overview of your announcement at the press conference.
Well, we're moving forward with a special election on November 4th, coinciding with other local municipal elections to neutralize anything that Greg Abbott and Republicans are doing in Texas. They do 5 seats, we do 5 seats. And we're not only doing that, we're also announcing, as a consequence of this effort, a commitment to national independent redistricting. Well, that's on the ballot as well. We believe it's the right thing to do.
So the idea is we will do the illegal gerrymandering that they're doing, but only to offset their gerrymandering. Afterwards, we will push for independent redistricting. Does this make sense? So, you'll find, bad faith actors that are saying, Governor Newsom's doing this terrible thing. It's like, no. You punched first. He's punching back. You have to understand this. And so they are absolutely trolling. Stephen Chung said, most transparent president ever, speaking of Trump. And then the Newsom office says, many are saying he took the baby stairs today in the back. True? Just absolutely trolling him with the dumbest, most irreverent bullshit. And there was a few more here where they were responding to, I guess, there's going to be pushback that comes from members of the Republican Party in California that are saying they don't want this redistricting to happen. November 4th, there will be this special vote. So here we have Carl DeMaio says, I'm looking forward to November 4th when California voters hand Gavin Newsom a humiliating defeat by rejecting his corrupt and dishonest redistricting scheme. The Governor Gavin Newsom press office page responded by citing that ex-councilman was accused of masturbating in City Hall, and they said, you won't be, quote unquote, handing us anything, Carl. Oh boy. I mean, this is ugly, but you gotta love it. This is the game they want to play. Have a listen.
Outside of the press conference you held today, there were ICE agents. I'm assuming that's not a coincidence. Can you maybe react to that?
It's pretty sick. I mean, what more evidence do you need? I don't think we needed to say a word at our press conference. I mean, he sent the Border Patrol. He sent the regional head of the Border Patrol out here. And by the way, Dan, I want folks to know where we are. I'm at the Democracy Center. I'm at the site where the Japanese were bussed in the 1940s. Quite literally. It's not figurative. And I hope people are listening. ICE or Border Patrol was out there at the exact same site that the Japanese were being picked up and bussed.
And of course, they, had a demonstration that they did, I believe at MacArthur Park, the National Guard did, when Governor Gavin Newsom was giving his previous announcement, an update on the wildfire issue. So, clear intimidation. Now, here we have, and again, part of the strategy people think is he calls the National Guard in because it's a national emergency. It's almost like they're waiting and hoping for the citizens to protest violently so that they can actually say, see, it's broken. And it's like, yes, it's broken. You broke it. Here's a DC resident screaming at the National Guard. You have an obligation to refuse unlawful orders.
Fucking citizens. These are homeless people. You guys are fucking crook. Don't let them do this to you. It's abusive to you, and now you're gonna get fucked when you're fucked up and you have to go to the VA and they cut all your services.
So he's saying this is abusive to you. When you have to go to the VA and they've cut all of your services, this is going to be you. You'll be just as down on your luck as these homeless people are. I mean, look, it's such a compassionate plea by this man saying you don't have to obey these orders. You don't need to be here. People don't serve and sign up for the military to be used on their own citizens. Again, sure, could they fix the crime in the city? There's always initiatives that can be done, but is it a time where it's of national importance? There wasn't any terrorist warning. It wasn't the there wasn't the I don't know. There was no significant moment for this to happen. They're just seeing how far they can get. It's pretty scary out there. Meanwhile, Trump heads to Russia, aka Alaska, and today he's negotiating with Putin. How it's going to go, I'm not holding my breath.
We're getting some new details this morning from the Kremlin about how these talks are supposedly going to go down tomorrow.
Today.
They say that Presidents Trump and Putin are going to meet one-on-one first with only their translators present before the meetings broaden out into a wider group that includes their top advisors. And then they say that Putin is going to participate in a joint news conference with President Trump after the meeting. So
now, of course, Putin, he's KGB. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He wants to take over Ukraine and then move on and kind of reestablish the USSR. He's not going to settle, especially as Ukraine's on its heels and having, been depleted as they've been invaded by a nuclear power. He's not going to. There's just no reason. He might tell Trump, we'll do this land swap thing. Sure. Ain't going to happen. Here is a former intelligence official who specialized in Russia affairs on the upcoming meeting.
The biggest challenges when it comes to negotiating with someone like Vladimir Putin.
I think the biggest concern is that Trump may be easily manipulated by Putin. He's a really detail-oriented dictator. There's no issue that's more important to Putin than Ukraine, and so he really knows these issues in and out.
And the truth is, with Donald Trump, he doesn't have the patience to solve issues. Like when it came to the January 6th pardons, it looked burdensome that they were going to have all these people's court cases they were going to need to go to. Who did what? So he just said, you know what? They all get a blanket pardon. He wants quick fixes for the media. That's what he wants. So if the European Union says, we'll do all these trade deals, we'll give you $600 billion in business, business, blah, blah, blah. He loves that because then he can go online and say what's going to happen and all of this, even though there's no, path or avenue for that to happen. So again, it's not exactly what they even say goes down today. It's what are the actions moving forward. We'll have to see. All right. Well, that wraps us up. As you guys might know, we end our Friday episode telling our bosses to go F themselves. Let's do it a little differently. Let's walk out of our office. You had a great job today. Go have a nice drink or smoke some weed or blow a line of love. I don't care. Do whatever the hell you want. Put those middle fingers up in the air and tell that gerrymandering to go fuck itself, right? We want our votes to matter. We want our representatives, our congressmen, our senators, our governors. We want them to do our work. We want them to speak for the people, not tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. So let's go out there, scream at them. If you see your set, yell, you're taking away our health care. Let them know how you feel. And let's take this country back. All right, we'll be back Monday morning. We'll see you then. Have a good weekend. Do something I wouldn't do. And then some Dave, this is The Rush.